Pat-Dye connection, a lot of respect for Auburn and Hugh. There's a lot of great rivalries. We seem to be, I think somebody told me this once, that we're the only school that has 5 contiguous states. So go figure. You end up with a lot of rivalries when you touch 5 states. So priorities will be based on what the SEC office thinks best. I don't have a lot of input on that. I kind of just deal with the hand that we get.
On the aisle, 4th row.
Corey LeBounty, WNSP 105.5, Mobile, Alabama. Coach Smart, your team back-to-back national champions. You talked about complacency and the challenge with complacency. Your team coming into this year, how do you go ahead and address all of those issues internally and block out the external factors?
Well, we address them by the people we bring in our organization. I think you start by developing good people and bringing good people in. I just talked about it on the main floor, but we look for 2 characteristics: people that love football and people that embrace a selfless role.
Left side, 2nd row.
Kirby, Jeff Spiegel, ABC 3340 in Birmingham. There's a perception out there that while this program has done a lot of great things on the field, off the field it's lacking in accountability and discipline. What can you say today to address that perception?
I would say talk to any of the players within our organization, talk to the retention rate that we keep with our players. Our players respect the fact that they're under a microscope and that they always will be as athletes, but we've got one of the highest character, highest GPA, one of the best teams we've had. So I'm very confident about our team and our culture.
Final 2 questions to your right, standing up.
Hey, Coach. Connor Hines here with WMAZ in Macon. You talk a lot about eating off the floor. How does a guy like Javon Bullard sort of embody that, especially given his finish with the back-to-back MVPs at the end of the season?
Yeah, Javon's a guy that had a chip on his shoulder. He was another not highly recruited guy. He loves football, and he embraces a selfless role. And he came in the COVID class. So there's another evidence of a guy like Kamari and a guy like Brock Bowers that bought into the team concept, loves it. He loves to eat off the floor. He likes that saying. He's a hard worker that overcomes a lot. And a lot of people didn't have high accolades on him, but we liked the intrinsic character in him, and it's paid off because he's a tough physical leader in our team.
Final question right up front.
Yeah, Coach. Brooks Austin, Dogs Daily. I'm curious, through all the years, how do you make sure your message stays fresh? Where do you go to for new material, new inspiration, new sayings?
Read books, talk to people, inherit and plagiarize from others that have done it before. We bring in outside sources. We bring in tons of outside speakers, and I'm sitting front and center when they speak to take notes and grow as a coach, because I do think it's important to keep your message fresh. I do think it's important in this day and age to do things with your student athletes in terms of 60-second messages, because they can't last much longer. But we have a guy by the name of Drew Brandon with Amplos he's out of Greenville, South Carolina. He works with our team, and he works with me, and he's a sports psychologist, and he does a tremendous job.